South Korean women choose to be child-free just so as not to have to deal with their men. The feminist 4B movement gained global attention by leaving behind relationships, family, and children.
No heterosexual marriage, no childbirth, no dating, and no heterosexual sex.
The South Korean patriarchy is believed to be the source of protest, as it denigrates women's role in society.
In South Korea, a lot of mothers face discrimination in the workplace.
Men don't do anything but just for existing, they were valued.
Women in South Korea are so tired of fighting against this bullshit that they're just opting out.
Many users from different countries also expressed agreement with the movement, with some stating that it should be in their country.
Y'all heard of the 4B movement? I'm a big fan.
Straight men need to step up their game and relationally with women, or they are going to be pushed out. We really are seeing this play out in real time through the 4B movement. If you're not aware of this movement, it's a radical feminist movement that originated in South Korea, but it has gone global in recent months. And the focus of it is decentering men, but in a very hardcore way. Straight women specifically are committing to not only never marrying men, but never being in relationships with men or dating men, and more significantly, to never having sex with men. And we are at a very interesting point in history now where sex toy technology is so good that women do not need men in a sex context. And there's obviously been a trend for a while now of women committing to platonic life partnerships, which is where they move in together with a best friend of the same gender and have a completely but committed lifelong relationship, because they are finding more meaning in that relationship and more connection and support and validation than what they are getting through their relationships with men. I think for so long men have seen it as some kind of threat that they can make, like, well, you need men, like, what will you do without us? But women are literally at a point where they are so fed up that they are saying, we don't care. We are just really sick of men's shit. This is the consequence of toxic masculinity. This is the consequence of this whole alpha male movement that was led by the likes of Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson, telling men that women need to go back to traditional gender roles, women need to go back to the kitchen, women can't have OnlyFans pages, they can't have Instagram accounts, they can't wear certain items of clothing. Women are just like, fuck that. We're just going to do us. And if the human race dies out because we're no longer procreating, then so be it.
Sexual marriage, no childbirth. These are just two of the pillars of the radical 4B feminist movement in South Korea, in which women are basically boycotting men. I'll explain. The 4B movement is based on 4 pillars, each of which starts with B, the Korean word for no. Bihon, no heterosexual marriage. Bichulsan, no childbirth. Biyone, no dating men. And Biseksu, no heterosexual sexual relationships. Though the movement has been gaining visibility on TikTok in recent weeks, it first gained recognition on Twitter circa 2019. The previous year, South Korean women had taken to the streets to protest an epidemic of voyeurism and spy cam porn, in which women were recorded without their knowledge in public restrooms, at their homes, or even at work. 2 YouTubers, Jung Se-young and Baek Ha-na, are often credited with boosting calls to exit the patriarchy through their no marriage movement begun on their page Solidarity. But even before then, the Escape the Corset movement back in 2016 saw Korean women rejecting societal expectations placed upon them, taking aim at the country's internationally renowned beauty industry by shaving their heads on camera and refusing to wear makeup. Intimate partner violence is another source of discontentment amongst Korean women. A 2016 national survey by the South Korean Ministry of Gender Equality and Family found the rate of intimate partner violence against women to be 41.5%, much higher than the global average of 30%. The increased visibility of the 4B movement comes at a time of demographic crisis in South Korea, which has one of the lowest fertility rates in the world at 0.8 births per woman compared to 2 decades, despite instituting pro-birth policies by giving monthly cash allowances to new parents, extending parental leave, and free daycare. The birth rate has continued to decline.
Calling the movement radical is beyond stupid. With the constant harassment, murder, and assaults period of women, males are lucky it's just the 4B movement. Yeah, honestly, I don't understand. Like, it needs to be ramped up, but I'm trying to be patient and taking it one step at a time, because the 4B movement is not enough. Like, the males are despicable, disgusting. Disgusting. And it's in the 90th percentile of males. Out of all males, in the 90th percentile of males are just, they shouldn't even be here on this planet. Because it's like they assume women, they assume children, um, they don't care about the earth, they don't care about the plants, they don't care about animals. It's like, then what are you doing here? All they do is they keep screaming and yelling, oh, trad, like, we want like the traditional, but you can't even afford a traditional lifestyle for a woman. You can't even pay for that. A traditional lifestyle means you have to pay all of the bills. You have to pay for everything. You can't even afford it. You financially can't even afford it. But yet you want women to sign up for a life of poverty and abuse with you because of what reason? What like they don't have a brain to me. It's like there's no brain. That math is not mathing, right? 4B movement should be global. Yeah, at this point, look at all these likes. They're in the thousands and thousands. Like when I see like the males' comments every here and there, they don't come anywhere close to like, I mean, they'll be lucky if it's above 100 or even 50. So at this point, the 4B movement is going global. So that's why the predators, the males, are getting more and more pressed, and they're getting more and more predatory and wanting to get ladies that are younger and younger. Than the 4B movement, yeah. Amazing what the 4B movement is doing, yeah. I'm here for the 4B movement. Women are not the lesser gender. Jesus Christ is the only male that has ever truly loved women. Well, Jesus Christ is a patriarchal construct. Sorry to tell ya. So it turns out Jesus Christ is a patriarchal construct. It's not, I'll just let y'all study that on your own because it's wild. But if I were you, I would maybe start thinking about asking more questions. Like, for example, ask yourself why it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, all like males, no women in sight. No women in sight. Ask yourself why they would propel such a thing when women are the ones that give birth to males. So if there is a gender war, right, males do not stand a chance. They serve no purpose here on this planet because women are the ones that conceive you. So it doesn't even make any sense. So you can see that women are actually above males, and males are so scared of that fact that they've put in place a lot of patriarchal constructs and stories that they've sold you as truth, but they're not true. They're just made up stories that were made up by males to control women. How does it make sense? There's no women in sight there. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. There's no women in sight. And we all know that they look down on women in these religions as well. And yet you are birthed from a woman. Like literally, women are literally above you. So if you want to go to war with us, right, this is the sad reality for you. And I think the reason why women are the only ones with this power is because we don't seek to dominate. So even though I believe that we are above the male gender, we don't seek to dominate. We don't have a need to control. We just don't have that need. At least most of us in the 90th percentile. We just don't have a need to have to control things. That need is not there for us. So as soon as women are born, it's like we're born with everything that we need. So we don't have to go outwardly searching for who to control because we don't feel like we have a purpose on this planet. You know what I mean? Males do, because males actually don't really have a purpose. Their only purpose the only purpose they could possibly have is being here for the sole protection of women and children. But they're not doing that. They are the predators. They've actually become the assailants of women and children. So now they literally have zero purpose. So they will go extinct. They have to. I love seeing all the pissed off males in the comment. Men are trash. And y'all, I want to point something out. This video said 41% of women in South Korea are abused by males, compared to the 30% average, global average. Y'all, do you know how high 30% is? 30% global average. That is stupid high. And that's only counting the ones that are reported, y'all. That's just off of the ones that just so happen to be reported and counted. 30%. That's almost 50%. So I can only imagine if we were to count the ones that are not reported, the ones where the woman has been made to believe that her masseuse is okay, and in fact not even a masseuse, we're talking double, at minimum double the numbers, double the statistics, probably looking at least 60 to 70% of women that get masseused, unalived, berated, and we're not even counting being berated and insulted. Every time we go in the comment section and the males are saying, women suck, women this, women that. Well, ladies, why would you want to be with a species that thinks these things about you? Leave them alone. Oh, women suck. Oh, you think we suck. You think we're this. Okay, just leave us alone. We gonna do what we want, period. But that statistic is like mind-blowing to me, 30%. And that's from only what has been counted, which we know it's the minority of people that actually report or these things get found out. Most of them go hidden under the radar, not reported. And it also even depends, because most countries are built off of a patriarchy, right? So there's a lot of places that still allow abuse of women. So they're not even counting it. It's bad. The state of the world is really, really bad. And it's because of males. It's really bad right now. And it just keeps getting worse until we figure out how to kind of get rid of these males. So 4B all the way. So being transphobic is bad, but not being heterophobic is okay. I see the point for both sides. I don't think that there's any such thing as being transphobic. And I don't really think there's any such thing as being heterophobic either. And the reason why is because I think, unfortunately for the trans community, they have used the term too much to where the term kind of doesn't really mean anything at this point. Like phobia is supposed to be like an extreme. Let me look up the definition for phobia. So the definition for phobia is an exaggerated fear of something or an intolerance or aversion for something. So, I think the trans community have misused the term. What is the term that they use? Transphobia, to the point where it doesn't really mean anything. Like, a phobia is actually, like, say for example, individuals that are literally scared to go outside because they're scared of the sun, right? There's individuals that are literally scared to go outside because they think that there are listening devices everywhere, and so they're not able to go to work because they think there are listening devices everywhere, right? That's like, it has to be a really, really high extent for it to be classified as a phobia. And what trans people have been doing is they've been trying to weaponize the term, and they've been using that against anybody and everybody, right? Like, if you don't agree with their lifestyle, oh, you're transphobic. Oh my God. If you, from your opinion or your mindset, you feel like, okay, that's weird. I feel like if you think that way, then potentially there's something more going on, or there's something deeper that's wrong. But that's up to you. You can live however you want. Oh, you're transphobic. The 4B movement is for biological women. Oh, you're transphobic. So they abuse these terms thinking they're doing themselves a favor, but they're not. They're just further marginalizing themselves, because you're harassing people, wanting them to give up their own personal rights and freedoms just so you can feel better. Your emotions can not be hurt, right? So at this point, I just don't really think the word transphobia means anything. I don't think it's possible to be transphobic. I think people just have their own values, views, and opinions, and they are allowed to do so. So in the same token, there's no such thing as heterophobic, because that's what's starting to happen, right? With transphobia being used in such an irrational way, then you're going to start getting the same thing in return. People are going to start using that against you because that's the same way that you're using it, So I've heard a lot about that, and that's what I think. I think that it's unfortunate that the trans community can't seem to, just be comfortable being in their own group without trying to force themselves into the groups of others, and without calling other people names, without trying to berate other people. I think that's like really would be the biggest thing that I would say about that. And also, we have to stay grounded in reality, because otherwise we start living from who knows what fantasy world the males live from. Trans women are not real women. That's just a fact. That's just factual. You're not a woman. Maybe you might feel like one, or maybe you might spiritually feel like one. That's okay. But when we're talking about real issues that biological women go through, I feel like you should be able to support that movement without being able to infiltrate it, right? I've seen some people from the trans community and the LGBTQ community be reasonable and understand this concept, right? And they're supportive. I've seen it. But there are just way too many that just don't get this concept. And it's like, okay, then you're even more of a male than ever. Because if you don't understand this concept, then you're definitely a full-on male trying to pretend and infiltrate like wolf in sheep's clothing, So that's what I think. Leave it in the comments below what you think about that particular situation, because I know that that's a hotly debated aspect of this as well.
But the women of South Korea have gotten so fed up with the misogyny.
Oh, girl, wait, hold on. It's so much worse than that. It's so much worse. And I mean worse in a really good way. Like, yay, team. The situation has gotten so bad. They don't have any kids. They don't have any first graders enrolled in over 100. The is they've only been doing this since 2019.
But the women of South Korea have gotten so fed up with the misogyny.
Oh, girl, wait, hold on. It's so much worse than that. It's so much worse. And I mean worse in a really good way. Like, like, yay, team. The situation has gotten so bad. They don't have any kids. They don't have any first graders enrolled in over 150 schools. And the gag is they've only been doing this since 2019. So in 5 years' time, they have managed to erase an entire class of youth. It didn't even take them that long. It's only been 5 years. This is really bad. Now, I took statistics in high school, and I don't remember much. But I do recollect what my teacher said when numbers drastically change consistently over a certain amount of time, whether it goes up or down, whether it is good or bad. Once it gets to a certain point of no return, that shit's like a domino effect. It's only either gonna get better or worse. And if these women in Korea continue this for another 5 to 10 years, oh boy. Like, think about it. In 10 years, stacked on top of the 5 they already got underneath their belt, 15 years go by, there will not be a graduating class of 2039. We could very well see an entire generation completely wiped within our generation. And Korea it ain't little. It's so fascinating that they've managed to do this in such a short amount of time, like 5 years. No first graders? Just imagine what that looks like in like 4 years. There won't be whole ass elementary schools, period. And they're trying to pay these women. They're so desperate. They're like, all right, listen, hold on. We'll cut you a check. For every kid that you have, we'll give you like 75 grand. And them ladies was like, fuck out of here. I no, that's quite all right. This is delicious. I truly hope that, women here in the States can get it together long enough to make this happen here. If fuck around and find out was the ultimate stage, it would be right here.
Also, it is happening here in the US. That's why they banned abortion, trying to outlaw no-fault divorce, and every receding hairline on a podcast. Not receding hairline, girl. Every receding hairline on a podcast is screaming about women gotta settle. Y'all, 51K likes. I just added mine. You know how disgusting it sounds when they say women should settle? Like, why would we do that when we could just choose to not give birth to you anymore? Literally. And you know what the gag is? Most women would probably still keep giving birth if there was a way of choosing the gender of the child before it's born or before it becomes or grows. If we could just before it actually happens, choose, okay, I want a woman, we would do that. But seen as, it's like a mixed bag, you don't know what you're going to get, and this world is terrible, no one's going to bring any child into this. It doesn't even make sense. Nowadays, it's so bad, y'all. It doesn't make sense to do that. So yeah, it's in the US too. I made a video. We looked at the birth rate statistics. The US is at a 1.5, 1.6. So the US birth rate is quickly declining as well. And the replenishment rate is 2.1. So yes, y'all, it is here. So if you're still pick me shing, oh my God, I want a meal so bad. Ew, oh my God. Ew. Stay away from me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry. It's just so exciting. 42 with 0 kids, doing my best to help out the 4B movement. Yeah. Thank you, girl. 42. You know why that's funny? It's because she made that decision early on. She's like, oh yeah, I'm helping you guys out for sure. Which she is. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. 30 kids. Yes, same here. Oh my God, y'all look. My heart, my heart, my heart. Oh my gosh. No kids. Yeah. Let me see here. Same. Oh my gosh. Like what? This got the one person. That's not by choice. Come on. How is it not by choice? You could literally like just sleep with anybody if you want to get pregnant that bad. Like all you got to do is keep sleeping with people until you get pregnant. I mean, go to a club one night, go to a club the next night, go to another club the next night. It's by choice. It's wild when people say that. Like, what? It's just a matter of, look, there's no, you have, like, every animal group does this. If there aren't good mates to procreate with, then you don't procreate. It shouldn't be a foreign concept to humans. I don't even understand why the males are confused about this concept. If there are no good mates to procreate with, then you don't procreate. You don't go in and procreate just cause you want to feel included or you want to feel like accepted. You don't procreate for stupid reasons like that. It doesn't make sense. Every animal group does this. They vet males. They vet their males, right? And if that male is not a suitable procreation partner, it ain't gonna happen. 4B movement needs to come to the UK. I've been ready since I was 17, girl. I love how they unified. Oh yeah. That's because, it's just the abuse is so strong and they prioritize a lot of things that don't make any sense for women. It's like when males take it too far, this is the result of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you think you're having fun and you think you're winning and you think that you rule everything. Meanwhile, you don't rule anything. You don't control anything. Women have been giving you the illusion of that. They've been giving you the illusion of that. All in the meanwhile, grasping power little by little for themselves. And now it's like, okay, we don't want to play anymore. Goodbye. It's as simple as that. Quite expert level quiet quitting. I love that. Playing chess, exactly. I always say that women stay playing chess. When they didn't want us to work, when they were like, oh, you can't work, you can do this, you can do that. But they couldn't stop fighting and killing each other. The males couldn't stop fighting and killing each other. Well, now they need women. Oh, now you need us. Well, maybe we'll help you in exchange for. We stay playing chess and these males are playing like nothing. They're not playing anything. They just think that violence will continue to work. No, the only thing your violence is going to get you is you killing each other. That's why all these countries are at war now. And like us as women, hopefully they don't drag us into their crap because they've built all these nuclear weapons and things like that. This is all the male. This is males doing this. And all they end up doing is killing each other. So all it's going to take is one or two good wars. And where's that going to leave us? So the patriarchy doesn't work. The patriarchy, males, you're not cutting it. And you never have. Give it up. You weren't meant to hold or wield power. That's why you don't have it. Trying to get it through violence, that which you cannot have. Dang, top of my class ain't gonna mean a dang thing. Right? Yeah. When the ladies in Korea say "bet." I know, 75K. What is that supposed to do? Like, what? My entire shoe closet might cost close to 75K. I mean, like, over the course of my life that I've gathered. Shoe and clothes, maybe both shoe. Like, these males, I hate these males so much. They're so gross. Literally, like, what are you talking about? 75K, girl, bye. And then they're trying to repeat the same thing that got them in this position in the first place. They're trying to like buy women, like literally buy them and have them immigrate over. They're trying to like have them immigrate over because from poorer countries. Well, what's going to happen when you bring these ladies from the poorer countries into this home and you abuse them over a course of years, of a number of years, and they start thinking to themselves, I don't want to be abused anymore. And literally, like, it's like they don't learn, y'all. Like, oh my God, y'all. We've always had it. There's no if, buts, or maybes about it. We give birth to you. It's not the other way around. It's not the other way around. We give birth to you. So if you can't get it together, then you're gone. And let me tell you, I don't believe women will go extinct because I believe that women are able to procreate without males. The only difference would be when women procreate without the male sperm, they only give birth to other women. It's almost like self-cloning. They only will give birth to other women. But even if we don't, the males will still go extinct way before we do. Unless they nuke themselves, right? And then we have to be caught in that crossfire. But with the amount of wars and the amount of violence that they exhibit on a daily basis towards women and towards each other, they will be gone way before we are, and we will get to recreate this in the way that we want to. And we'll get to have the time period to point to say, hey, this is why this does not work. This is why males cannot be allowed to rule. Males cannot be allowed to do anything. I permanently joined the 4B movement a few weeks ago with surgery. Oh gosh, that's so hilarious. Oh my God, Nick Cannon. Let's not even go into let's. Yeah.